Oh hey, it's your friend whose Spotify Wrapped is ruined thanks to all the lo-fi playlists they listen to. Back for another round of tech tea. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are 3 tech updates to get you through your Sunday. So Apple has officially enabled sideloading on iPhones, at least in the EU, but now everyone is mad at them for it. Here's what you need to know. Thanks to an antitrust case last year, Apple was forced to enable sideloading of apps, at least in the EU anyway. The tech giant essentially has 2 separate versions of its software such that the EU variants will let users sideload apps and have third-party app stores without the use of jailbreaking or other means, and the other version which only has the one store. But there's a catch. Apple is initially cutting the commission owed for these companies which choose to keep their apps on the Apple App Store while using the third-party stores. Those cuts truly only save money until an app gets popular enough though. Once an app gains over 1 million downloads, they will then have to pay 50 cents per install annually. At first, okay, that's a hit, but only a one-time charge, right? Well, not really. See, according to Apple's rules, updates count as new installs, so any update made after the 12-month mark will quantify as a new install and will be charged a brand new fee. To give you a scope of what that feels like, TikTok averages about 134 million iPhone users just in the EU alone. So after the first million discount, they will have to pay 66.5 million euro. Along with these third-party App Store changes, iOS 17.4 will also let users download full versions of their favorite web browser. Previously, developers needed to use Apple's WebKit, which had a ton of limitations. However, even with these changes, since this feature is only available in the EU as well, companies will have to develop 2 separate versions of each one for each location. One amazing global change, though, is that Apple changed the rules on game streaming services. So now things like Xbox Game Pass will have cloud gaming support on iOS devices worldwide. Probably because they're writing a variant of their own soon that works with the Vision Pro, but you know what? We're going to take this one when we get one. Speaking of tech giants, Google showcased its newest AI project, Lumiere, this week, which can create realistic AI motion with a single prompt. Here's what you need to know. Google's Gemini AI initiative was already showcased last year with a strong push for developers to use its rapidly growing tools. One of those has been the text-to-image generator, which it hopes to come to Bard sooner than later. Lumiere is the next step, which is trying to capture AI to do what others cannot yet. Proper movement based on text generation. Other companies like Sable Video Diffusion or Meta's Emu offer text-to-video generation, but one of the things that is really stumping these models are when humans or organisms move. It all seems a little off, but Google's tech demo of Lumiere might be the closest one to getting it right so far. The 2-minute demo has videos based on a few text prompts which can then be coupled with a reference image to change the style. One can change a human, or in their case a bear, to be made of all flowers, neon lighting, or tiny blocks. You can even use it in video editing to change outfits as a person is walking. Other use cases would be to animate pictures such that clouds could be moving or fire can be more animated, getting us closer and closer to the animated portraits from Harry Potter. Let's be real though, while the demos they showed were super cool, there's definitely still a little level of uncanny valley to it all. The capabilities of text-to-image and video using AI have progressed rapidly in the 2 to 3 years since its release, but what Google is showing us is the high hopes it wants its developers and creators to have using their Gemini models. Let's hope that when it does get released eventually to Bard, there will be high guardrails up so we can't get too weird with it. And finally, honkaistarrail announced its version 2.0 this week with tons of new content, characters, and freebies. Here's what you need to know. Friday, Hoyoverse had their latest livestream for the popular sci-fi game honkaistarrail, where they unveiled the brand new region called Penacony. Trailblazers will be invited to the Charmony Festival by the family. Penacony is labeled the land of dreams such that dream chasers explore a land created by those dreams, aka Penacony is actually a prison-turned-hotel in which each of its guests are just dreaming, and the locations within this dream hotel are based on themes of the night. The Penacony arc begins with 2.0, but will officially conclude its missions by an epilogue in 2.3. Along with these prodigious dreamscapes, there are also new dreamlike enemies which players will have to face that are said to be born out of negative memories and emotions. Never fear though, because what would any Hoyoverse update be without a handful of new playable character banners to go with them? 3 new characters were introduced during the live stream, with the first being Black Swan, a tarot-based 5-star, Sparkle, a 5-star member of the Mask Fools, and Misha, a 4-star bellboy working at the hotel. There's also going to be a number of rerun banners as well. Last but not least, Hoyoverse is giving away 20 free character pools with the version 2.0, with 10 coming from the gift of Odyssey and another 10 coming from the gift of Solarium. honkaistarrail has been notoriously better at giving freebies than Genshin Impact ever had. The latter has been review bombed recently for their lackluster anniversary event. honkaistarrail version 2.0 will go live officially on February 6th, with the first banner phase starring Black Swan and Dan Hung. That's all I have for now. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you back here for some more tech tea.